There are many ways to attach the track to the structure, but I always use brackets whenever possible. And I'll show you how to make them and what they're useful for. First step in making the brackets is to take one of these long strips and trace along the heavy dotted lines. Next step is to fold. I'm going to do a valley fold along both of these lines. And for each bracket now that you want to use, you can cut off these as you need them. So I would only cut off 2 or 3 at a time because they're very easy to lose since they're so small. If I wanted to attach a loop right here, I could just try to tape down the sides here, but it wouldn't be very secure and it may come loose after a while. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out exactly where I want my loop to be. And let's say I want this side to be right here. I'm going to kind of trace with lines showing where I want this side of the loop to be. I'll darken those lines so you can see them better. And I'm going to put a bracket right there. So I hold the bracket right where I want the loop to be. I'll tape this down. I'm going to tape down this half of the loop. Now I have this tab on the side, which makes it a lot easier to attach to the structure. On that side and there's one on the other side. And I'm going to stretch this out a bit. So I'm going to make the other half of the loop come over here. Darken that so you can see that. And I'm going to put another bracket right here. And the last tab right here. Now it's very important for loops to be mounted very securely, and this one is still not mounted as securely as I would like. Without mounted securely, what happens is the marble tends to go in here and it shakes the loop around and then the marble just drops rather than staying around the outside edge of the loop. So to really make this more secure, you could take a beam and put it right across here and then tape this to the beam. You could use another bracket upside down and that would hold it in place. And as long as the top part right here stays secure, the loop will have a much better chance of working. Brackets can also be used for attaching curves or straight tracks or merges, just about anything. So if I was going to attach this curved track right here, I'd figure out where it was going to go, mark the lines, put a bracket down, and then it makes it much easier to attach to the side. Now if I needed a track to go around, say around this column right here, and I wanted to use a wide turn like this, sometimes you just don't have a place to mount it. I really want this to be resting on something out here. And rather than building another beam coming out towards the camera here, what you can use is a shelf. I'm going to show you how to make a shelf and how I could attach it right here where I needed it. These are a strip of shelves. I'm going to show you how to make them first. First step is to trace along the heavy dotted lines. Next step is to cut along these solid black lines. Don't forget these small ones here. And even if the line doesn't go to the edge of the paper, you assume that it does. Next step is to fold these tabs back and make mountain folds. And this tab right here is usually going to be a valley fold like this. And you've made a shelf. And this can attach to the side of a column like this. And you can have it bending in different directions. Say if I wanted it to bend down like that so that it could have a slope. But usually it'll point straight out to the side like this. This will be the strongest. Put tape on both sides. And then across this tab right here. And then it'll be strong enough to rest a track on it. It's not strong enough to build more structure on top of it, but it's strong enough for a track. To tape two pieces of track together, I'd figure out which one is going to be on top. So if this track is going to be uphill from the yellow track, I would put this one on top, and then I'm going to use 3 pieces of tape to tape these together. I'll put tape along the outside here, make sure it's touching both pieces of track, and then fold it around to the inside. And I'd use it on this side of this track here. Fold it around again to the other side. It makes it much stronger. And I'll probably use one more piece of tape right here. And if you can get to it still, if you want to put one more piece right here, it can't hurt. Alright, so this would be good for a marble traveling in this direction. If before going the other direction, it could hit now this little bump that I just made. But falling off of there, it's usually very smooth. If you need to tape, let's try it again. If you need to attach a bracket to a beam, we're going to do it in a slightly different way this time. You're going to trace along these long dotted lines here. But in this direction, you're going to line up your ruler with this line right here, but you're actually going to skip this part and just trace here and here. Cut it in the same way as the other shelf. Again, you make these mountain folds. Now, instead of folding this one, you would fold these side pieces like this, and it will look like this instead. Now with both of these types that I just cut, this one can attach to any of these columns in any of 4 directions. Up here, down here, any of these columns. So it gives many more places now to attach the track than just relying on having it attached to the columns and beams where they are. And this one right here is good for attaching to a beam. So say if I wanted this to attach out this direction, I would tape this tab down up here, line this tab up with the beam, tape it down on both sides. These tend not to be as sturdy, I think, because of this fold right here, but they're still usually strong enough to hold on to a track.